Hello. Welcome back. And welcome to the return of the Circle of Seekers and Sinners, the Candela Obscura mini-series that began back on Valentine's Day as the one-shot. If you have never seen me before, hi, I'm Dan Pixel, they, them, and I will be the Lightkeeper for this game. Candela Obscura, as a reminder, is a gothic horror system by Darrington Press of lasting consequence in the ethereal beyond. And with that in mind, let's meet the rest of our cast. So let's go over first to Angie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angie, a Gonthetic on the internet. My pronouns are they, them. I will be playing Cyril Craven, he, they pronouns. Cyril is a slink, and their specialty is in criminal.
All right. Next, we have Kai.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am here to play Paxton Jet, who uses he, him pronouns. And Paxton is of the weird variety, and specifically additional occultist support for this circle.
Okay.
John?
Hello, I'm John. You can find me at John on Blue Sky. I use they and any pronouns, and I'll be playing Althea Al Overton, she, it pronouns, who is the muscle category soldier specialty.
And finally, Jen.
Hello, friends. My name is Jen. My pronouns are they, she. I really prefer they, but also I'm not giving up the she after growing up as a woman in STEM. I'm keeping it. I am playing Zephyr Green, pronouns they, them, who is also a weird occultist who is very excited to have a friend. And there's the captions going already. Damn, impressive.
Wow. Okay, this is the cast. If you want more information on them, type !CSS cast into the chat at any point in time to be provided with the links to their socials and other projects. One thing I want to shout out before we move into the pre-roll for everything is that one thing you can see is that we have art. Our lovely Aganthetic made bust paintings, drawings. I'm having a day. Drawings for all of our characters. So if you're wondering who they're playing, it's right next to their lovely faces. And yeah, once again, amazing art from Ange. Thank you again so much. Handcrafted sculptures. Yep, we're doing A-okay.
How's it going, Dan?
It's going so great, Jen.
I don't think I believe you.
Fair. Anyway, into the lead-in. This content warnings for this show tonight include, but are not limited to, death, descriptions of blood and gore, thalassophobia, and mild body horror. And again, with that said, tonight's performance is in the genre of horror and will include other themes that can disturb. Due to the nature of this being an improvised performance, we do not know the exact direction the story will go, and as such, viewer discretion is advised. And I think if everyone is ready, let's go to the opening credits.
Death. The one thing all humanity shares. The one thing medicine and science have spent their existence trying to overcome and reverse. The fear of the great unknown drives progress, but it can drive it to horrors unspeakable. Because when something comes back from beyond the veil, there is no guarantee it comes back as whole as when it crossed. Sometimes what is lost is not meant to be found. The Circle of Seekers and Sinners. Assignment number 5018. Pressure.
We open on a fluorescent light. The alchemical electricity glaring sharply in a sterile metal hallway. We begin to hear the distant sound of sharp clacks, heels against this metal floor racing quickly towards us. A figure rushes past us, their lab coat whipping with their pace as they proceed purposefully through the halls. As they book through these unfriendly corridors of this laboratory, we see them pass by several small labs within, ones with glass observation portals that show scientists laboring on different pursuits within several separate chambers. In fact, over the next several minutes, we pass multiple such chambers and dozens of people working in each one. And along the way, ceilings inlaid with unusual dish-shaped inlays. After several minutes of this, we come to a close of the hallways at a metal door, split apparently down the center, but not other handles or levers on this side, at least, for opening it. Upon reaching it, this person reaches into their pocket and withdraws a small badge of some kind, and they hold it up to the door. We hear a shh hiss of air as the door unseals, splitting down the middle along the seam and sliding open to each side of the portal. The room inside, we see, is similar in design to the hallway. Sterile metal, much of it painted white. The harsh light of high-quality alchemical lamps leaving no shadows in the room. We see rows of large glass tubes embedded in the walls, each approximately 8 feet tall and made of thick glass, capped by metal with bubbling liquid inside. At the back of the chamber, another glass tube stands, larger than the others, and inside the liquid we can make out the silhouette of a form inside it. This tube also features a unique attachment to it. A metal inset with a series of vials of some kind nestled within it, and a slow drip of a dark liquid from an IV hose into each of them. A sharp-featured woman stands before the massive tube, brown hair drawn up in a strict bun, and a small device in her hand that they hold near her mouth, speaking into it. As the person from the hall enters into the room, we can hear the end of the woman's sentence. Viable cultivation period begins in 72 hours. Reconstitution theory must be put to the test before then, or my efforts will be set back months. My patience wears thin these days. She turns an eye away from the giant tank, coldly fixing it towards the interloper. How can I assist you, Dr. Choi? We turn back to the new entrant into the room, who we now see is an androgynous person with short, thick, dark hair, and their eyes are blazing furiously as the door hisses shut behind them. We go back out into the hallway, and an indeterminate amount of time passes while we wait there. All along this time, we hear a soft, deep thrumming, followed by sharp pinging sounds of metal settling, echoing against this empty space. Suddenly, the door splits open again, and the dark-haired person who came now leaves with the same pace they entered with. As they race down the hallway, heels clacking loud against bolted steel once more. Alone now, we see their face, no longer stoic, but intense worry now plastered thickly across it. They pass again by the lab, scientists still laboring inside. They traverse for what feels like an eternity until we finally see them come to another double door, sealed without handles or hinges, and with another wave of that small little badge. It hisses open as the first did. Inside, a small office with bookshelves and a desk, some files messily spread across it. There are no windows in this room, just more metal walls. In fact, every room we've seen so far, there have been no windows. They sit at their desk, quickly pulling another key from their pocket and unlocking a drawer. From within, they pull out a small device with a single button on it. Immediately, we see them begin to tap the button in a rhythmic series of presses, with intermittent pauses in between. A bead of sweat begins to form on their brow. They finish tapping and are still gripping the device, their knuckles whitening. We cut back to the labs we passed moments before, scientists teeming inside. We hear small chatter as they work, titrating liquids in vials as they wait for other samples to cultivate. And suddenly we hear the soft tinkle of breaking glass. The chatter stops and they all turn towards the sound. We see a small vial on the ground, dark liquid spattered against the remnants of the container. Scientists share a look of confusion amongst themselves. After all of them are on this side of the room. Where did that vial come from? And who knocked it over? We smash cut out to the hallway again, and the camera follows a fast-paced pair of heels against metal. But this time we do not see who they belong to. As they clack down the metal hall, suddenly we hear the klaxon of an alarm begin to sound. Soon after, in the distance, we can hear the sound of screams. And as we pull back from the heels, now moving swiftly away from us, their sound quickly getting drowned by the rising tide of agony we hear now. Even that begins to fade as we pull back through the walls, passing through the thick, pristine metal, through the space around the halls, into nothing. Muted, thick silence, save for the occasional murmur of air escaping the sealed metal hull into the brine surrounding the massive structure. The horrors within, hidden, gagged by the weight of the water it now sits within. Silence. Darkness. Cyril. In the months since the events of Deep Breath, you have found perhaps a bit of new comfort. Maybe even slept once or twice. And tonight we find you in those moments where you sleep. Where do you sleep?
Cyril has been keeping... They've been keeping themselves comfortable in one of the rooms of the chapter house. I think ever since everything that happened with the famished, they have had this sensation, this feeling of not being too far away from this place. It's technically not their home, and of course they have a home with Carlisle, but there's just something that keeps them tethered here. And as strange as it might seem, they actually sleep better when they're here.
Yeah. We can see you in the room provided to you in the chapter house in the Varnish. What does your room look like?
It's a little messy. Definitely what one would find from like a bachelor's room. Like there is kind of a couple clothing pieces strewn about, maybe a couple empty bottles, an ashtray with some cigarette butts. There is that smell of ash in here, maybe a little bit of that natural kind of sweat that comes with possibly not cleaning their sheets as much as they should. He's just a guy, right? There's a little bit of dirtiness to Cyril, and even though this room is quite opulent in comparison to how they've grown up, there's a little bit of just kind of a personal hominess that there is in their space. With like that's with the scent and the clothes and just it's theirs. It's become theirs.
We see you in this room sprawled out across your bed, tossing, turning in your sleep as the camera draws closer and closer until It passes through your head, and suddenly, we're where you are. Where we always go when Cyril falls asleep. We're in a dark warehouse. We're not alone. There are 4 other people with you. The members of your crew. In the moments before your life changes, what were you doing?
Cyril was fiddling with a lighter. They had it in their pocket, and they weren't, of course they weren't sparking it, but it's one of those lighters that flip, the cap flips, so they kept flipping it. And it was in their pocket, and they kept looking around, and that stim was as a result of kind of weariness and the sense of there's something wrong. Something doesn't feel right. This isn't like our other jobs. They're just having us stand here. Why are they just having us stand here?
You can see 2 of the other guys in your unit, crew, that have come out, and they know each other pretty well, and they've gone on several of these kind of odd jobs before, and they're kind of just joking around. Their cigarettes are lit in their mouths, and they're shooting the shit, having a normal time. I think it's in watching them first that you realize something is truly wrong. What you always remember, what came first, was not anything visual, but the lack of sound that filled the room. Their banter drops away, and you can no longer hear the click of the metal against your fingers. You look down at it, trying to figure it out. And as you look back up now, you see the ash on the cigarettes in your compatriots' hands has burned down to their fingers, but they can't do anything about it. Their eyes have widened in horror as they can't move. Another beat passes, and you go to try and get to them, but you find you can no longer move either. You don't know why. You try to look, but you can't see. The silence is oppressive. And then you watch as those 2, like something is being pulled out from their throats, out of their lungs, as they crumple like tin cans. And as they fall to the ground in front of you, a large, dark figure emerges. And it turns back towards you. But unlike every other time that you have thought about this moment in the months since, you see a face. A woman's face. With short-cut, blonde hair and brilliant green eyes. A black pulsing vein crawling up the side of their neck and across their face. And you wake up.
Screaming.
Take a brain for me. As you settle in the room, the sounds of the city, of the Varnish nightlife outside your window, filling what was previously empty silence. What do you do?
Cyril goes over to the window and just smacks it open. I think they're trying to let in as much noise as possible.
Yeah.
Just
As
to
you
know
push-
that it's there.
As soon as you push it open, the sound rises in volume. You can hear laughter. You can hear drunkards clamoring, slamming into walls. The normal nightlife that you're used to hearing. And the breath of fresh air that comes in the window.
I think Cyril looks down at a group of these drunkards. Hey, there's people sleeping.
And just knocks back their bottle, takes it, fuck you, and throws it up at the window. They miss. It just shatters against the wall next to the windowsill.
Yeah, fuck you too. They just kind of lean against. They lean against the frame of the window, just knowing that at least this is, there's a normal reaction.
Yeah.
To him being an asshole. So this isn't part of the dream. This is all part of reality.
We pull back the camera behind you as you stare out the window. Pulls back to the little messy desk in the corner of your room. And sitting on top of that, the camera pulls and focuses in frame. A little metal lighter. And then we switch. Al. In the months since the events, even you have found a modicum of sleep now and then. When you do sleep, where do you sleep?
I think at the Charter House as well.
In the same chair that you sort of claimed?
I think Al has moved to a bed these days.
Okay. I think, given the nature of things, you are actually going to be in the room that previously belonged to Professor Abigail Davies, who has been gone for a week.
Yeah, I suspect she insisted I take it while she was gone.
Yeah. I do also think that she asked you to take care of Rhyme and Reason. So, in what was her room, we see... What does it look like? Have you altered it at all?
I think, especially because it's not Al's room, Al has actually kept it pristine. But on the outside, there is several empty bottles have been arranged outside the door, but not taken to anywhere for recycling or garbage or rubbish. It's just Al has neatly deposited them outside the room so as not to tarnish the inside.
As we hover over Al as she sleeps, and we can see two cats curled up in the corner of the bed. You too do not sleep well. And as the camera passes over and enters into your mind, we see no longer this room, but a starry sky. As the camera pans down from it, we see what looks like a sea of tents and small campfires. We draw closer and closer to one in particular. And there we see Al sitting at it. What does Al look like before everything changed?
I think a bit more vibrant. Al these days typically has a permanent scowl and is slowly getting a little put back together, but this is like Al when Al had discipline, Al when Al had ambition. And so, every hair neatly tucked, every uniform perfectly pressed, just an ideal soldier in this unit. And I think she is, unlike anything we've seen of her thus far, she is actually sitting.
Yeah. You're not alone at this fire. There are several people we can see milling around in the background, and some chatter happening around you, but who's sitting with you?
Probably the people I think I'm closest to in my unit. I would say right now it's going to be Emerson. Where's my notes? Emerson
and Ursula?
Emerson, Mahala, and Ursula, I think all three are around the fire with me. I think we have some very rare downtime in this dream.
Yeah. I think you'll see they each have a little... They're passing around a little flask. It's unadorned, but they're like taking a swig. Emerson, holds his liquor pretty well. He takes a swig and he sits back up, and then he like stands up and does like a little bit of a straight back thing, and he's just like, now, Sakar, if I see you miss another step or another wrinkle in your uniform, it's cleaning duty for a month. Doing their best impression of Captain Skylark. You see Mahala, a little bit tipsier, kind of like chuckling. He's like, no, you're doing the voice wrong. It's much higher. It's clipped. You know how she gets. Ursula takes the flask, but doesn't drink from it. Ursula never drinks, and she passes it over to you.
Yeah, and I take the most politest of swigs.
Emerson just rolls his eyes like, oh, come on, Al. Sorry, there's nothing happening. We're so far away from the front lines here.
Sure, but it's always good to have your wits about you.
Live a little.
I know Ursula's got hers, but someone's got to have her back, right? Like, elbow her, elbow Mahala.
Ursula kind of looks like, you got my back and I've got yours.
That's the way of it. That's always the way of it.
And Mahala reaches back over for the flask to take it from you.
Mm-hmm.
She takes another swig. I will say, the most beautiful sky you can find outside of New Fair. To the Longsworth Bears, long may they ride.
Yeah, there's like a kind of like what if a bear were barking kind of noise. And, I think that gets echoed a little bit throughout the tents as well. Here and there, a couple people will take up like the fawn and antiphon of it, and there'll just be the sound of bear barking for a little bit.
As the calls begin to die down, Ursula looks over at you. She says, now, don't feel like you never have to, you don't have to be pressured into it, okay?
When am I pressured into anything?
Okay.
I'm not the one with a wrinkly uniform, and I'll take a bit and twist it a little bit.
You can see Ursula doesn't quite know what to do with it, but Mahala has burst out laughing. And it's in that moment that even though you can see Mahala is laughing, you can't hear it. In fact, you can't hear anything. Not even the crackle of the fire. Not the chirp of crickets, nothing. Ursula has recognized it too. She's looking at you now with concern. She's mouthing words, but you can't hear them. And then there's the splash of something wet against your face. And Ursula stops moving her mouth. She looks down. And as your eyes follow hers, you see a tendril about 8 inches in diameter bursting through her chest. And the warm, wet against your face of her blood. There is immediately a rush of air in front of you as she is whipped away. You see Mahala now up at arms, trying to stagger back to her feet, but another sort of explosion. And she disappears underneath the ground. What do you do?
I think there's a shot of the scream and silence there in the moment as Al leaps to their feet, or her feet. And immediately, I think this is not the first time Al has dreamed this or remembered this. And I think always probably tries something different when this moment happens. Yeah. And I think this time it is, instead of reaching after one of the two that is whipped away, immediately turns for Emerson to see where he is.
You turn to look for Emerson, Emerson's drawn his sword, and he's swinging it, but you can't see at what. You watch as the fires in the distance get knocked out or go away. Something's happening to them as well. And you watch as Emerson takes a swing, and then suddenly his arm is gone. And in another moment, his head. You continue to run forward, looking for anyone. Lieutenant Ryder's body is the next one you find, squished and compressed, as though it's been wrung like a sponge. I think the thing that you see most often, in the end, is the decapitated head of Captain Skylark. Because it drops from the sky and lands in your hands. And her eyes are wide with shock. You look up, and you can almost make out this outline of a form in front of you. And you've never been able to see it, even in your dreams. But it turns around. And it's a face you know. A blonde woman. Short hair, severe undercut. Brilliant green eyes. And a vein pulsing up the side of her neck onto her cheek. Black and Icarus. And you wake up. What do you do?
Al is used to this dream, and so I don't think it is the same usual, like, bolt up. Like, I think in the early days, it was like bolt up, scream, and immediately drink. And I think now it is just like a fluttering open of eyes and like a breathing exercise. Like, immediately starts to ground herself. Like, we'll look around the room, especially because it's only a week familiar, and we'll start listing things. And then we'll slowly start to formulate an opinion on each of the things. To say, like, oh, I don't like that rug. I really dislike that lamp. Because once she can formulate an opinion on it, it becomes more real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, unless I'm jumping the gun, there may be the sound of someone else screaming in the building tonight.
Yeah, I think you hear Cyril's shout.
And I think when Cyril shouts, that's when Al snaps from grounding and is out the door immediately, like, without even looking, grabbing the biggest bottle there and, like, gonna kick open Cyril's door, which has probably come off the hinges several times from Al kicking it open.
Just Cyril, there is a crashing that you hear slowly coming towards you until wham! The door wide open behind you as you trying to have your moment of zen.
Oh, you muted, fam.
Cyril, you're muted.
Anyways, Althea, again, please, you cannot keep doing this.
Al is very sheepishly trying to put the door back on its hinges.
Just leave it. We'll take care of it later. Just leave it. Leave it.
So what was it tonight?
Same fucking dream. Same fucking dream.
Blondie?
Real quick, double checking. The blonde woman with the green eyes, we've never seen her before.
You've never seen her in your dreams before, but you do know who she is.
Is this Viridian?
You would remember Dr. Viridian Lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was the host of the Famished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh.
As Al asks you that question, and you think on it, there's another set of footprints down the hall. Zephyr, you have heard some loud noises from your normal rooftop solitude.
Very nice way of saying brooding roost. I think at this point I'm not used to hearing various things crashing around in the house at night, but I perhaps don't take it with the same urgency that I once would, especially hearing Al and Cyril as I kind of make my way back in through my window and down the stairs or down the hall. And Al and Cyril, you both see the recognizable mess of hair that is Zephyr's windswept head. Everything all right?
Cyril immediately, when Zephyr comes into the room, immediately kind of starts grabbing bottles and like shoving them into cabinets. Maybe there's like a bedside table that might have like one of those like opening cabinets, and like Cyril's like, yeah, everything's fine, and just like shoving them in. It's almost as if they don't want Zephyr to see Cyril living in squalor, even though it's hard to miss.
Al places her bottle in Cyril's room as if it were there the entire time.
Really? Okay. All right.
And then she'll knock it over as you say that.
You know, that's not my rug. It's the house's rug, and you just...
I will look around for a moment. All right, don't throw anything. I'm going to run downstairs. I'm going to get a spare bin. I'm going to go downstairs and get a spare bin.
Okay. As you head downstairs, Zephyr, you pass by the foyer of the chapter house of the Circle of Seekers and Sinners. And you would know it's been odd here, of sorts. It's not like the Circle has gone on investigations recently. As mentioned, Abigail has not been around for about a week. And your Lightkeeper, your Aunt Amaris, resigned. And as you walk down into the foyer and pass by the front door, you can see a note slid under the door. It is a sealed envelope with a little bit of gilding on the fringe.
Is there a recognizable symbol or icon on it?
As you approach it and see, it is sealed in wax with the seal of your circle.
All right, then I will take it and bring it back upstairs along with the rest of, along with the bin that I promised. And I will hand Cyril the envelope and say, "You read, I'll clean."
No, you
and I start picking up bottles.
Zephyr, okay. There's this moment of just Cyril looking up and down from the letter up to Zephyr, just kind of thinking of whether they should help or not, and then just decides to go along with what Zephyr just told them to do. Yeah, they look at the letter, the seal of their circle. I think Cyril has become pretty well known. We still have the little pins, right?
You do still have the little pins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zephyr kind of looks up and says, "I hope whoever put that there isn't still outside because I just left."
I mean, did they knock?
Not that I heard.
Well, that's their fault then. Cyril will open the letter.
Yeah, you open the letter, and it's fairly brief, but it is in a very neat, blocky script. And it reads, "Take this to the astrolabe in the ritual chamber. All of you."
That's cryptic. The astrolabe is underground,
Downstairs.
right? Downstairs?
Yes, down in the ritual chamber, in the basement,
Where nothing bad ever happens.
where nothing
Yeah.
bad has ever happened.
All right. Cryptic and demanding a little bit.
Do any of us recognize the handwriting?
Ooh, this will be fun. Zephyr, you are welcome to give me a focus roll. I don't know that the other two would recognize it.
What's the worst that could happen? Well, it's a 6.
A 6, full success. It's been a while since you've seen this handwriting. But as part of your, let's say, unique upbringing, you sometimes would have to write letters to your extended family, to your grandfather.
This... Too old to be awake. This is legitimate. It's from Antamaris' father.
Right.
Let's see what he wants.
Okay. Cyril looks over to Althea. See, you kicked the bottle over. We could have taken it down to the astrolabe and have a party. But no.
It was empty.
Oh. So why'd you
They're
bring
all
it?
empty.
Why'd you bring it anyways?
I was gonna hit something with it if you were in danger. Al is like leaning on like near your window, like ashing a cigarette out of it.
Okay. Always a dutiful soldier.
As you all make your way down inside the chapter house, down to the basement, the torches down there spring on as you come in. And you can see as you walk across the stone ritual floor, the sigil that is seemingly permanently etched into the floor itself, where Professor Davies sealed the famished. And as you pass by it, you make your way to the back of the chamber, down a slight smaller hallway to a massive astrolabe constantly spinning. And as you approach, you can feel this kind of... who's holding the letter? Yeah, you feel this pull, Cyril, from the paper towards it.
Okay. Is it... I'm holding on to it,
Mhm.
and it's essentially like almost dragging me forward?
Yeah. The closer you get to it, the stronger the pull gets, like a magnet.
I don't know if I should let go. Okay, this is getting harder. I don't know if I should let go. They're like slowly like trying to pull back. I think they're trying to like maybe.
Mhm.
There comes a point. They don't hear anything, so they just let go of it.
Yeah, they're like playing this like tug of war, like kind of looking around until just like, okay, letting it go, and it smacks into the front of the astrolabe, fully unfolded, and all the wrinkles fall out of it. And as it does, it glows brightly and begins to expand until it is a portal about just over 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide, glowing brightly. You cannot see what is beyond. It's just a glowing light.
Of a bit. Doesn't anyone send a messenger pigeon or a telegram these days?
Well?
Is
Asshole. And I'll walk through.
oh, no explanation whatsoever.
Yeah, Al follows. Okay.
Cyril stands there, arms just outstretched, looking at this, just thinking to themselves, they could have very well just disintegrated into nothing.
Two of us have a self-preservation instinct of a fart.
Might as you know what, Cyril? Yeah, just walk right in. Don't tell Carlisle. Let's do this. Yeah.
Look, no pressure.
Cyril will also walk in into potential doom.
And instantly vaporized.
and instantly vaporized. Thank you for watching The Circle of Seekers and Sinners. This has been a great
It's been amazing.
miniseries.
I've been Jen, you know.
The camera stays in the ritual chamber in front of the astrolabe for a moment longer, and after Cyril passes through, we watch as the portal shrinks back down to a simple piece of paper, and as it floats to the ground, we watch it begin to burn away until it's gone. The lights go out in the chamber. On the other side, Zephyr, you went through first, and as you step out, I think this is not your first time in the fourth Pharos. And
Oh, God. Oh.
and you step into the headquarters of Candela Obscura. It's probably been a minute since you've been here. And the first thing we see with you is the massive scope of it all. There is this constant sort of semi-green limning around everything in here, but you see halls and structures. Some things kind of just sort of float in the air, like motes of light that seem to sparkle and vanish now and again. But it to you still looks like a bit of a fancy, maybe not fully as comfortable as your chapter house, but in the same sort of architecture style. And you see a long hallway, you see other people milling about, passing in and out of rooms, and you know generally the scope of where you are and how to get to your grandfather's office from here. As the other two step through behind you, there's an immediate sensation. This is your first time inside the flare. Do any of you have bleed marks right now?
I
No.
cleared mine at your suggestion.
You did. You had many. You have one bleed mark?
Yes.
Okay. You feel like this kind of pressure in your chest for just a moment. Just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like something inside of you, it doesn't want to be in here. Something about this place you're in. And it goes away.
Did you feel that? I think Cyril.
No. Well, aside from the portal, but no. It takes some getting used to. If you feel like a little bit of a tugging in your gut, that's normal.
Okay. Okay.
The fuck is
Is
this
it-
place?
Is it normal if it goes away? Like.
Yes, the tugging is really just the movement between worlds. This is the fourth Pharos. And
What?
we are going to go see my grandfather.
What is the four Pharos?
Well, as you may know, there were 3 before this one.
I
Don't tell
don't
us where.
actually. No.
Well, you may extrapolate from the fact that it is the 4th.
Oh, okay. So it's not an arbitrary
No,
number.
it's not arbitrary. It is quite
Okay.
literal.
Okay.
I don't know the ins and outs of the history as well as grandfather does, so I will let him explain. Because it's been a while since Jen's read the fourth Pharos in the real book.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say you can also decide whether or not Zephyr would have paid attention to this thing.
they would
regardless.
have, but it's been a long month for them, you know. So they're just going to beckon the other two to follow as they walk the halls to go and find their grandfather.
You follow your companion through here, and all along as you go, it feels like something in here just feels like it is present and not present at the same time. And you kind of remember in the moment the flare right? This was explained to both of you at your initiations. The flare is what keeps the other realm where bleed comes from, where it resides. It's what keeps it separate from the normal realm, right? That is the flare. It is the barrier. Somehow, this place that you are in is within that barrier. It is not on one side or the other, it is inside of it. And it constantly feels like something is there and not there at the same time as you pass through. You make your way up a red carpeted hallway and staircase up to what looks like to be an ornate office door. Zephyr, how do you choose to go through this door?
Closed?
The door is closed.
Okay. How long has it been since I've spoken to him? It's been a while.
It's been a while, like minimum 10 years.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to knock, not forcefully, but purposefully.
Yep. And there is some shuffling on the inside. The door opens. And it is your Aunt Riddy on the other side opening it.
Riddy. And I will go in for a hug immediately.
Yeah, she'll pick you up and like step back from the door. She's like, Zephyr,
I missed you. How are you?
I've missed you too, child. I'm glad you could make it. Just
Where's Aunt Damaris?
she looks back over her shoulder, and you can see now behind you the full spread of the office. There are another 3 people in here. You see your Aunt Amaris sitting at a desk in the back. There is another figure at this desk. This room itself is also fairly lavish, right? The same red carpeting with little gilded fringe around it, and there is a fireplace we see in a corner. There are bookshelves filled with books, and like a globe sitting in the corner with it's clearly open, and there's like several fancy liquor bottles inside of it. And as you look back to this desk in the corner, you see your aunt sitting on one side of it, back to you. You can see like her hair kept up, like the same black and white streaks coming out the back of what looks like a high ponytail. And you see your grandfather seated at the other side, his face stern as ever. Those of you who are seeing this as well, this is a man who looks to probably to be in his early to mid 70s, but very well kept for it. His hair is shock white and is very thick. And he has a full goatee, and he sits with his back perfectly straight. You, Al, would probably recognize this person on sight. This is General Anran Song. He is one of the most legendary figures in the New Fair army. And you see a third figure sitting over by the fireplace in an armchair, glass in hand. Pax, will you please describe yourself for the circle?
With a broad, almost annoying smile on his face, very incongruent for this setting and the tone of literally everyone else in the room, we see Paxton Jett. He is a fair-skinned, very angular-featured man with very sunken eyes. The smile on his face is only partway there. And he swirls a glass in his hand, contemplating the gin that was in there that is nearly gone. But most people don't drink wearing leather gloves in an office where they are comfortable. But Paxton is garbed from head to toe. Scarf, layers of warm browns and reds, of clothing that maybe has seen better days, honestly. And he wears very nice shoes and black leather gloves. He also has sunglasses on as he sits staring into the strangeness of this room, and he looks not really at you all, but kind of around you all as you enter.
And as you all step in, what does Pax see as you all three come into the room?
I guess Zephyr ran in first, right, to hug.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the most brief way to put it is you see the puppet twink from Lies of P. The slightly more the slightly more detailed version is a reasonably slight frame, pale, a shock of dark black hair, still messy from their windy brooding's perch atop the chapter house. A pair of eyes that is... They're a brown so dark they're almost black. And maybe they are black. Who knows? And they have... They carry themselves in a way that is excited, but also just a little bit wary.
And think,
Especially as they look around and see someone who is not family in the room.
I think hulking behind the twink is the diametric opposite. Like an absolute brick house of a woman, like very severe knife cut hair, a little darker toned, looks like a little angry to be here because it's the middle of the night. So like kind of meeting the intensity of perhaps the general, but not the familial reunion happening nearby. Just looks displeased, like she would rather have a drink in her hand.
And to complete the archetype of shapes here, behind the hulking figure comes in a beanpole lanky individual with heavy bags under their eyes. They're dressed in dark colors, kind of a flowy shirt, hands in their pockets, hunching over and looking around, sort of like a lost cat. Their face is pointed and angular. The expression rat-faced urchin can easily come to mind. But the moment that they come in and they see the group, they pay no mind to the two strangers. I think they immediately, their eyes fall on the blonde-haired, green-eyed woman, and they're just staring.
Yeah. And just a reminder, that's the face you've seen in your dreams very recently. And Viridian Lane, short-cut hair, severe undercut. It's tied up in a ponytail, the hair that she does have. And that vein on her neck, you remember when you first saw it, it was pulsing angrily. It seems to have settled down into something more static, but it still is there. This black vein spidering structure from her neck and her face. Yeah. Her bleed scar from the events of 10 years ago.
Since we're slowly kind of coming in before Al keeps going forward, I think Cyril would grab Al shirt in the back and just kind of pull them. It's like, what did you mean? What did you mean about seeing the blonde one? Was it her? Did you see her too?
I think Al looks to Cyril and then like slowly looks back to Viridian, and their face is like, you know how like someone's face is unreadable, but not because nothing has happened, it's because too much is happening. It's like every emotion Al could feel at once is like stooged into the door right now, trying to see which one pops out first. And I think that's the only answer Cyril gets. It's this like, yeah, clown car of emotions on Al's face.
You can nod, shake your head.
Yeah, I think Al's fist just clenches. Arthur meme, you know?
Yeah.
Zephyr, in the meantime, has moved from Viridian to Amaris. Definitively looking good old grandpa in the eye as they do, because they know that he likes things like very structured and like stiff-backed. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, after you hug Viridian, and break free, and you immediately book it for Amaris, and you can feel like Viridian try and like catch the back of your shoulder and miss. She's like, wait, and you go forward, and as you do and get closer, you can see as you come around the side of the chair, Amaris is locked in and staring daggers at her father. This is not uncommon per se for your knowledge of their interactions, but they've always had like a kind of tenseness whenever you've been around them, but she looks very like pointedly angry. And as you come up and like put your hand on her shoulder, she like reaches up and grabs it, but she does not look away from Anran. And he like also like doesn't change his posture, but he just flicks his eyes over to you for a moment, gives you like a once over, and flicks them back to his daughter. Pax, I'm curious.
Yes.
Was Pax paying attention to anything that occurred in this room over the last 30 minutes or so?
It depends on what Anran told him to do, frankly. Because if the job was sit here with liquor in his hand and have a nice time, he played a symphony in his mind. He watched the floating lights.
Yeah.
The Fourth Pharaohs is a wonderful place. He can occupy himself.
Yeah, I don't think you paid much attention to this event. You, in the back of your mind, like, remember hearing some raised voices and some sharp tones. That's about it.
Oh, he's immune to that. The closest you see of any recognition of any of the family tension going on in this room is he does kind of purse his lips and look down to the glass and just kind of further mourn the lack of gin inside of it, because he's like, I am not interrupting whatever this is to get more. It's all the way feet that direction, and I don't want to stand up or anyone look at me or notice that I exist.
Mm. Back at the door, Viridian turns to Cyril and Al, and just like is muttering very quietly, I'm sorry. This might be a lot. And I happen to know that Anran can be a lot. So I apologize in advance.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, I don't think you need to apologize for someone's personality or whatever. Hey, have you picked up anything of like dream hopping? Is that a thing? Like, what is
Dream hopping? And as she
Ah,
says
yeah.
that, there's a barking voice from back over at the desk. Are you going to stand in the doorway all day? Will you join us?
I'll step in, give like, sharp salute, and then just like stay at attention.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's unnecessary, Lieutenant Corporal. You may stand down.
I'll stand at ease.
Do I have to salute?
Al will just glance over the shoulder and be like, nah,
Okay, I wasn't going to anyways.
figured.
Zephyr rolls their eyes just the slightest bit.
I see you've not changed.
I see you have not either.
And we shall stay settled in that. And he turns back to Amaris. This is not a matter of whether or not you can refuse. This is settled already. By your own choices. And you feel like Amaris's grip tighten on your hand, Zephyr. He says, Father, that was not the arrangement. And I request, whenever you address my circle, you treat them with respect. You gave up your ability to question my decisions years ago. He looks up at all of you. Take a seat. This meeting and convenience. What is the term?
Convenes?
Convenes, yeah. This meeting convenes as we establish the new circle of seekers and sinners. Pax,
Yes. And like a cat that's been napping pleasantly, he is called to join what is going on. Even though he is a little bit catty, a little bit cheeky with Anran, he very visibly gives him much more respect than these other people in the room as he stands up and doesn't stand up straight. He's not Al. But he stands up enough when he is called. And he joins. Hello.
You have a vacancy in your circle.
Abby's coming back.
Perhaps. But for now, she is doing as I have asked. As such, there became an opening, both for a new member and for a new Lightkeeper. You will now
Which
report to
is-
me.
I look at Amaris with this look of, why did you do this to me?
There's a moment on her face where she just like glances up at you for a moment, and there's like a... It's hard to read her right now, in fact. Because apart from the anger that is very clearly in her body that is directed at her father, there's something else there. Like a frustration. But you can't quite figure out what its source is. And
Do we not get a say in this? It just happens.
and who would you choose? Cyril,
I mean,
with your
who do-
extensive knowledge of
I mean,
Candela
like-
and its operations.
Yeah, I guess you have a lot of that since you know my name and everything. Do you keep tabs on everybody? Is that what
It's
your
my
job is?
duty.
So, got it.
I have stepped away from the circle of Lightkeepers so that I may supervise this chapter as best as possible.
Why? Why not assign someone more junior?
You hear there's like a sigh from Amaris. Because of you, Zephyr. Your unique scenario is one that is not public knowledge to most Lightkeepers and members of the Order in general. To have any Lightkeeper be in charge of the Circle meant they had to be aware of you. And there is only one other Lightkeeper in the organization with such knowledge. Rude as he may be, insufferable as he may be, and Anra just holds up his hand to cut off his
No.
daughter.
And even Pax kind of stands up, hands out. We can all be friends. I understand that there's history, but Anran here is one of the best Lightkeepers in the business.
I thank you, Paxton, but it is unnecessary. Your words will not smooth over 2 decades worth of issues and more.
It's worth a try.
And is this Paxton, aware of me? Is that another decision that you have made for us without asking?
Paxton is another unique situation. Paxton
He
comes
lasts
from
too
my...
long.
Paxton comes from my circle, prior to my joining of the Order of Lightkeepers. You may find, however odious you consider my imposition, that there are few better fit for your uniqueness.
You did not answer my question. Is that a yes?
He's gonna look over at you, Pax, and just sort of give you like a knowing nod.
Like a go on or like a
Yeah. Like a it's okay. You can.
Oh. There are very few people in all of anywhere, frankly, that could elicit such a response as Pax steps forward. And as he does, he looks next to your head, Zephyr. Not at you, but again, it's something near you that looks like there's absolutely nothing there. But as he does, he steps forward and he pulls off the glove on his right hand. And all you see is a void that emerges. Black shadow as he reaches next to your head and grabs nothing and pulls on it, and a brief spark emerges just out of thin air, like he had cracked a sparkler next to your head, and he just starts laughing.
As that spark shower sort of descends, you all watch as what you know from Zephyr's overly dark shadow begin to corporealize upward in the space next to Zephyr.
Okay.
How did you do that?
Oh, well, a magician never reveals his secrets.
Now they've corporealized Pax. The shadow, it's a very interesting color. Not the actual shadow itself, but the threads within it.
He begins to roll up his sleeves and kind of get closer. He's trying to not stare, but every part of him wants to just like sit there with a notebook and write down every detail of something that no one in this room can see except for him.
I want you to make a focus roll.
Let's do it.
Actually, or sense if you choose. Yes, Cyril.
I have a quick thing while Pax is doing this. This kind of energy and vibe between the general and Pax. Can I just try and discern the vibe? I feel like with Cyril's history, there's red flags going up.
Sure, yeah. Make a read roll for me. Pax, what did you roll, and what did you get on?
Oh
the
yeah. I'm just gonna roll focus.
Okay.
And that is a 5 on my gilded die.
Okay.
Just getting into practice more than anything else.
The way that the shadow is woven is very unique. You've never seen anything like it before. Even your own hand, while it looks similar, it has a different pattern to it. There's similarities, sure, but you expect that just across anything with bleed deeply rooted in it. What gets you is the color of the thread, because it's a color you would never forget. The last time you saw this color was on Schrader Street. And I'm going to need you to take a brain.
Yeah, for sure. As he's looking, that jovial nature, you just see his head cocked to the side, and the desire to peer closer slams closed. And he resumes his disinterest, vagueness, and he goes and picks up his glass again, shakes his gloves out and puts them in his pocket.
Cyril, what was your read?
It was a 4.
A 4. Mixed success. Yeah, there is a unique sense of loyalty that you can gain off of this. It's not one you find unfamiliar, like not one you'd find unfamiliar to your own experiences. But I think the last time you've seen something similar in an interpersonal relationship is probably between Al and Professor Davies. You get some of the same vibes from that. Anran continues. So you see, there were little options.
Paxton.
Yes.
Are you aware of, and Zephyr will pull aside the hair covering their forehead. And honestly, they're not even entirely sure if they're doing it to try and scare him off or just to see how he'll react. But you can see in the middle of their forehead a single jet black eye peering at them from under the hair.
Finally, those sunglasses get peeled down as he squints. You see now he's wearing them in part because his eyes are bloodshot. He looks like he has not slept in a year. And he just squints. Fascinating. Wasn't aware, but that's very neat. He'll must love you at parties.
I trust my grandchild is aware enough to not flaunt the abnormality.
No, grandfather, I have been using it as a party trick all this time that I've had it.
Your wit sparkles as ever. Now, to business. As I've already taken up enough of our precious time here. A few days ago, we intercepted a distress call from the Devil's Well. It is an Eon's laboratory. I trust you are familiar with the work of Eons, and you all would be,
Yep.
as, you know,
Yeah,
We burned down a laboratory.
that's where Riddy was hanging out.
Yep. We have reason to believe that the rogue element known as Dr. Boucher has been present in the Devil's Well. Moreover, this distress sequence presents a unique opportunity to seize an asset for our own.
What is the asset?
The Devil's Well itself.
What strategic location, then?
It's more about deprivation. Eons considers themselves our rivals, but their wanton disregard for the dangers of bleed make them, as an organization, a rogue element. Now, I'm sure they have as many undercover plans as we do with them. Unfortunately, even with the loss of one, and he shoots a very pointed look at Viridian. And there is a particular venom in his look at Viridian that is unique. I think all of you would pick up on it because it is not the same sort of sternness that he has reserved for his other family members, but there is a venom in his eyes as he looks at Viridian. And he continues. He says, as it turns out, we had such an operative, one Dr. Avery Choi, positioned in the Devil's Well and has been there for some time. They reported not long ago that Dr. Boucher joined them at the well to conduct their independent research. Now, with the alarm, the distress signal, right now, Eons does not have access to that. Moreover, Dr. Choi sent one message prior to the alarm. And it was simple. Testing is almost complete. The time to move is now. Whatever project that Dr. Boucher had been working on is almost finished, and we cannot allow it to be completed. I trust I don't need to incentivize you more than that.
How long ago was the message?
2 days.
How do we know it hasn't been completed already?
We have delayed it being sent along the proper channels. You have another 3 before they'll recognize it. It is more than just getting on to the structure. The Devil's Well is not located anywhere easily accessible. It's at the bottom of the Glass Sea.
Yes.
They think themselves clever, understanding that we have embedded ourselves within the flare. They attempted to duplicate something similar near the thinning at the vast chasm. Per Dr. Choi's messages, we know that they do in fact have a portal of sorts through the flare that allows them to do simple on and offloads from there. But that is outside of our point of access, unless we take control of it from the station.
You want us to infiltrate and open the pathway.
Precisely.
Sounds simple enough.
Except for the part where we get to the bottom of the sea.
That I too can provide a beginning of a lead on, or I have been told that we can. And again, he shoots another pretty venomous look over at Viridian. If that can be trusted.
As much as I'm sure you'd like to lock me in a box and throw me in the ocean, I'm not sure that'll do it this time.
There is a stillness that comes over him, and one that comes over Amaris, and Viridian as well, as you say that.
Oh, he totally wanted to do that!
Wait, that wasn't a joke?
Well, it was supposed to be. But I think I may have stumbled upon a bit of a sore spot.
Investigator Craven, when you joined Candela, were you provided with our mission?
Yeah. Investigate, find spooky shit, things that are hurting people, the bleed, whatever.
The bleed.
Me, find me.
Eradicate all bleed in this realm. All bleed,
He means
regardless of its source. Look at the harm that it causes.
What?
But for the bleed, your daughter would not be here.
If not for the bleed, then perhaps several circles would still be alive.
Look, sir, whatever your name is, to be completely honest with you, being part of Candela, from what I've come to learn, regardless of some people's actions in this room, people seem to die. It seems like it's a pretty much part of the job. I think everyone goes into it thinking that at one point or another, shit's gonna go tits up. To try and just blame everything or have some sort of ire towards the people in this room when you very well know that this entire organization works off of that, it's a little ridiculous.
We just need someone else to blame for, well, his family or perhaps lack thereof. Not the point to the assignment.
No, it's not. Now, as far as getting to the well, I suppose I shall leave that in the hands of my daughter-in-law to enlighten you.
Then we can perhaps convene in another room and leave you to your peace.
Do that. You're dismissed.
Before he even is finished talking, I'm up and pulling Amaris with me.
She shoots one more she shoots one more filthy look at her father and then stands up. And as she's passing by, she grabs her wife's hand to drag her out as well.
As everyone is leaving, Pax turns to Anran. The smile is gone. Really, we come back for this?
For what?
Do you not know? Do you not see it?
You know I don't see things the way you do.
Yes. I saw a thread. I saw a specific thread.
I trust that you can focus on the goal at hand.
Of course I can. I'm a consummate professional. All right. I'll be seeing you.
He nods curtly to you.
Paxton turns, takes the glass with him, and leaves.
Cyril, Al, any last parting words for your new Lightkeeper?
Yeah, no. I think Cyril about faces and the new Lightkeeper can look at their ass, walk away.
Yeah, I think Al gives a much more casual kind of two-finger as she strolls out.
You make it out into the hallway. The door closes behind you, somewhat on its own, gently, although I don't think anyone wanted it closed gently. Amaris, now free of the tension of the room, now reaches down to wrap her arms around you, Zephyr.
I will just enjoy the hug for as long as I can. I just mumble, asshole.
He has always been such a way.
Well, I don't have to
One
be
had
honest
hoped
about
that
it.
he would get more
Asshole.
mellow in his old age, but it seems his memory for grudges carries on a very long time. Viridian actually stifles a chuckle, and she's like, "Oh, so that's where you get that from."
Come on, let's find a sitting room.
It's not hard to find what you need. There's plenty of rooms around, some empty, some with other people milling around inside. As they pass by, they can you can see several of them waving at Viridian and Amaris.
My hair is once again back over my forehead where it belongs.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
Paxton
take
put his gloves on pretty quickly too.
yeah.
The two of us just glove, hair.
It takes you a few minutes to find a room. There's a table inside and several seats around it. And when you all come in, Amaris slumps back in a chair, kind of looking exhausted, and Viridian just goes and stands behind her and puts her hand on her wife's shoulder.
I've got the tea.
Yeah.
Kitty,
Oh boy.
I apologize that you had to all be a part of that. Paxton, please know that none of the animosity that you saw or experienced in that room comes from a place of distaste for you. Some of us have deeper wounds that go back farther.
Nothing can hurt us
I
more
find you
than
quite
family,
interesting.
right?
Quite.
Cyril thinking to themselves, I don't know what that's like. I love my brother.
My mommy.
Skill issue.
just the meme. It is like, what do you mean? I fucking love my dad, but it's
love my dad.
but it's just like a picture of Carlisle.
Yeah.
He, I wouldn't like to say means well, but that is neither here nor there.
Means well for the world, anyway.
Yes.
I
Never
don't want
focused on
anyone
the
to
mission.
misunderstand. I'm here because he asked me to, not because I'm his lapdog or anything. So I owe him more than one, but I get to choose what that is.
And what kind of information are you supposed to give him?
Oh, I'm just here to work. Honest.
Cyril narrows their eyes. Alright. Cyril just like, I know men who expect unwavering loyalty, and I'm not really a fan.
Oh, neither am I. Don't worry. I don't have any of this. And he motions to Al, like, pretty rudely, frankly. He's just like, you know,
Whoa!
whatever this is.
Al's
Hey.
already reclining, smoking a cigarette, not listening.
Hey now, you just got here.
I've actually been in the Fourth Pharaohs for a couple of hours.
Okay.
All right, settle
To
down.
the group.
I trust that you all can work together, even in the absence of Professor Davies.
Okay.
There is a certain level of manic energy that is missing in the group.
I wish to reassure you that Professor Davies is well, but I am not capable to speak on her current whereabouts either.
He said you can get us on that vessel.
Yes and no. My love. And she looks up at Viridian, who, like, squeezes her shoulder. It's like, it's not me, per se. But I know how you can find a way in. I should perhaps give background. Does, in fact, somewhat tie into my father-in-law's distaste for me. I was not always been a scientist. I grew up on the streets. I took care of my sister, and we did what we had to survive. This sometimes led us into unsavory crowds. I myself was a rather accomplished pickpocket. And you actually see a smile on Amaris's face. Yes, how could I forget how we met?
Was going to ask, please tell me you pickpocketed Aunt Amaris.
And I let her get away with it too. It was
Aren't you
mostly
gonna
a
say
fairly
something
good
cheesy like she pickpocketed my heart?
She just tilts her head like in disappointment. Come on now. Would never, ever,
In public.
in public. She like has a small
Anyway.
little smile on her face. Viridian finishes smiling herself and says, one of the many things that Anrin has never forgiven me for would be my ignoble background. I believe he once said something along the lines of his daughter deserves better prior to our wedding. He was not invited. That said, it would be unfair to not point out that I did associate with unsavory characters. And perhaps my knowledge of those unsavory characters will be our way in now.
Any names in particular?
She looks at you. Yes. There is a organizer of sorts. He goes by the name Barlow. We ran in the same gangs when we were young.
Wow.
An ambitious sort, but I do not trust him.
Yeah.
In
I'm
fact, I would go so
familiar.
far. Oh,
You know him.
It's a dangerous fucking man, Viridian.
yes. Yes, he is. She shoots you a look that is like knowing and somewhat apologetic. He
We are
is
trusting
likely
a dangerous fucking man to get us to the bottom of the sea.
precisely because despite being a dangerous man, he can be bought. Not for money, I'm sure, but Barlow deals with enough that any prize you promise him from salvage of an Eon's laboratory will surely be worth the cost to him. I feel it no longer necessary to warn you as strenuously as you have someone who knows. Do deliver on that promise.
Barlow also deals in loyalty. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Will he know the difference between valuable salvage and scrap?
He is not a fool.
There's something
And-
from a laboratory that they have taken such lengths to conceal can be very dangerous.
Promise what you need to. He should be able to get you on a ship out to the vast chasm. Knowledge of the above sea level entrance to the Devil's Well is a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few in Eons and those who provide their supplies. Enter scum like Barlow. It would be best you didn't mention my name. I assume the rat's memory is very, very long.
You said that would make sense. Cyril, you can get us in with him.
I have been avoiding this man since I joined Candela. If I get us in with him, I am worried that my time here will be cut short.
You have a history we should be worried about.
I don't think that's any of your business.
I think it's about to be if you have such a fear of him. It seems like perhaps there's been history. And everyone has it. I only care if it's relevant.
Is yours, Paxton? This is Amaris chiming in. She's like fixed her eyes on you because, for what it's worth, you don't know Amaris very well. You would never, given the distance between her and her father, you probably would never have met her, despite your time around him.
I think I met her today. Yeah.
And she's like studying you. And to like set this for your mind, like this is a very like tall, willowy, like very bright blue eye, but then there's an eye patch over her left eye. That is like ornately stitched, and her hair is jet black, but has shocks of white going through it. And she's sitting down, but she's still like kind of above you at this table. She's just that
tall.
kind of tall. Yeah. And she's studying you, and you're kind of familiar with this same sort of like studying look. You've seen Anrin do it a few times, but like you feel like a sharpness that even Anrin doesn't have.
Most of my history is dead, so there's nothing to know, and the rest of it is ancient, quite literally.
To ease everyone. It's not like he's going to kill me or anything. It simply is that me being found by Sefer and joining Candela seemed like the perfect way for me to avoid his attention.
That I understand.
Is it better for you to stay out of the interaction with him? Should it just be myself, Al, and Paxton?
It's gonna go better if I'm there. It is. He doesn't dislike me.
What do you mean your time's going to be cut short?
Because he'll probably bargain for my loyalty to him, and I won't really be part of. No.
So what? Bargain him.
Yes.
I don't own it. I don't owe him anything. That's
Exactly.
We won't give him the room.
If we're asking him to take us, to do a favor for us, even if we say that we're going to give him scraps, I'm just worried that he'll ask me to stick around.
Viridian is going to come up to you, Cyril, and she's going to put a hand on your shoulder, and she looks at you with like, you can see it in her eyes. There is a knowledge there that she like has an understanding of exactly what you mean. Had I known.
I don't talk about it because I have made sure to avoid him as much as possible. I've did just enough work, but not to make myself one of his family. And I don't want to be part of his family. And I did good fucking work. I did good fucking work. But I don't...
Well, as Paxton said, if he is going to try and bargain for you, we will not give him the room. You are not up for sale. Never have been.
Smart people know when they have been out bargained.
And if it comes down to it, know that the, well, admittedly limited pull I still have in this organization, but it's at your disposal.
That's fine. Are we gonna have enough time to maybe take care of things before this meeting with him?
Yes. You will have most of the next day.
I need to at least talk to Carlisle about this.
Understood.
And if he will not give us what we need without your promise to him, we will find it somewhere else.
Or we'll take it from him.
I like that idea. Al, was it?
Yeah. Paxton.
You can call me Pax. That's fine.
All right, Paxton.
And now that we are here, there's one more thing I wish to discuss. Away from the ears of my father. Should you find Dr. Boucher, it is Candela policy at this moment that certain knowledgeable individuals be brought to the Fourth Pharos.
After Knockhill.
That is what your directive is. You can see now, like, the handle of the chair that Amaris is sitting in, her knuckles have gone white from gripping it. The rest of her face hasn't changed, but you can see, like, her hand is just, like, squeezing the knob at the end of the arm very tightly. Should that be impossible, then it is impossible.
He said himself some things cannot be allowed to exist in the world.
I place no directives one way or the other. I trust in your collective judgment.
I have a quick question. This is for Al, above table. Did you ever tell us that you went trying to search and look for Dr. Boucher?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That sounds irresponsible, and I don't think I did that.
Raw. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, thank you for checking. I'm pretty sure I didn't tell anyone. I think that was like, it's the usual, I'm going out, and then just like come back later without a word.
Where are you going? Out!
Ow! God, Mom!
Better not be doing anything nefarious.
Like trying to kill
In
this
this
woman?
town?
Yeah, so literally, I think if anyone looks at Al's face during the if it's impossible, it's impossible, you can see that Al has already determined that keeping Boucher alive is impossible.
What?
I will not promise one way or the other. I can only promise to react to what is in front of me. In
One more
whatever way it
promise.
keeps everyone alive.
As the last promise, to your former Lightkeeper, do come back well. There is very little known of the Devil's Well, of the experiments they run there. It's possible that whatever contact you find through Barlow will know more about the structure and how to accomplish what you need to. Given the state of emergency that it was reported to be in, there's no guarantee that what you'll find down there is safe.
I think we're all expecting it to be quite the opposite. Otherwise we wouldn't be here.
And
But
why
working
was-
towards a safe return.
Yeah, and again, why was your father so concerned about people dying when there's always the possibility that we're gonna...
Because people just die in this business.
He needed a scapegoat and it was convenient.
No.
Father... I think he feels the grip of mortality more than he used to. And moreover, he maintains his disappointment that I cannot be his successor. A sacrifice I made 20 years ago. I have no regrets. Being a part of the Circle of Lightkeepers was his dream for me, never mine. I would not trade what I have now for the world.
Go for a swim.
There
Good
is a look behind Paxton's eyes. He's deciding something. He's rolling it back and forth. He's listening to every word. And this smile, again, doesn't reach his eyes. It's honestly not very well placed on. Bottom of the ocean, how dangerous could it be?
Good luck.
No. Where is your house?
Well, you may as well come and see it. Back through the portal if they kept it open.
You'll have to take a different one back. Well, actually. And she pulls something out of her pocket. It's like a little sigil for your circle. It's not the same as the Candela pins. The Candela pins that you all have are for Candela specifically. This is a sigil specifically for your house. And she slides it across the table to you, Zephyr. That should get you back through. And back in whenever you need it. Normally this is the pin for Lightkeepers to enter the fourth Pharos, but seeing as he will likely spend his time here in the office he already has, it's yours now. And, Pax, she reaches into her jacket and she pulls out a Candela pin. You already have one, but she slides this one over to you. This was, altered by Viridian's youngest sister, Azure. You will feel it vibrate when any of the others activate their own.
Clever. Strange to wear too, but I think maybe I keep this one too.
I do not question whatever loyalty you hold to my father. For his faults, I know him to be an honest man. That you respect him says admirable things about you, more than it vouches for him. Welcome to the Circle of Seekers and Sinners.
I think we'll get along just fine. And he takes the new pin and puts his hand over the one that was pinned to his vest. His thumb passes over it 2 or 3 times before he takes the new one and pins it to the lining inside. Happy to be here.
As you all, if you'll allow me, make your way back through the fourth Pharos. The wonder of it, the uniqueness of it, even what you've experienced, I don't think has dulled its shine. But despite that, there remains that tug inside your gut. We see as the circle walks their way back through what looks like an empty recess in a wall. As they approach it, that portal of light opens back up. You step through and it closes behind you. And I think that is where we are going to close tonight's episode.
So many concerns.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna throw that right back in my face, you little asshole.
Don't worry about it, Jen.
I'm worried about it. Fuck you, kitty.
Thank you all for watching the premiere of the Circle of Seekers and Sinners miniseries. Once more, I have been your Lightkeeper, Dan
And
Pixel.
Boyd and Cat Boyd.
Hand void and cat void. That void effect is so cool, Kai. That's so cool. I love it. Oh my god. We will be back next Friday at 8:30 p.m. Without Tech Gremlins, and we will also run a little bit longer, I think, to really get into it. We are 6 episodes from now. We are taking Halloween off, but otherwise you can find us here on Fridays starting at 8:30 p.m. EST. Once again, I'm Dan Pixel. You can find me on the internet as Dan Pixel, Pyxel, where I like to either play video games or talk about emotionally damaging things. I did just 100% Silksong, and it hurt my feelings quite a bit. It's a great game. Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's wonderful. If you liked Hollow Knight, I personally find it better in every way. But that's me. Also, Hornet's a bad bitch, and we love her. That's me. I'm going to pass you over to Ange.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angie. They, them pronouns, they gone thick on the internet. I'm not cool enough to be even able to try and play Silksong because I'm so bad at those games. But you can catch me every Sunday over on Tales Archived for our ongoing D&D campaign, Known Realms Telesh. I will be introducing my brand new character not this Sunday, this Sunday after. And I'm very, very excited to bring them, he, she, any and all pronouns in. You can also find me over on Dicescape on YouTube for The Last Arcanist Daggerheart campaign. 3rd episode will be up this next Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I play Hugo Husk, a living scarecrow.
Amazing.
That's me.
Kai. Who are you and who have you been?
Oh, who am I? Hi, everyone. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I've had just a great time playing Paxton Jet, just a normal guy. And you can find me everywhere as Estelle of Imladris, where I am always talking about TTRPG stuff. You name the flavor, the shade, the kind. I'm a TTRPG performer, game designer, cultural consultant, wearer of 1,000 hats, and I am also a professional costumer, costume historian, and knower of many things. You can find me on most Saturdays, but not this coming Saturday, over on Transplanter RPG, where I'm a core cast member on the Chaos Protocol, which is an all transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy actual play series set in a non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse, where I play Mr. Zun and Esh, who is a sad gay purple cowboy man. And we just had our interlude episode a week ago from tomorrow. From tomorrow. Yeah, that's how that works. So you can go check that out on our YouTube or over on Twitch on the VOD. And we are getting ready to launch our new arc on October 25th, which is very soon. It feels like it's like tomorrow, but also like it's 1,000 years away. But in the meantime, from that, you can also find me over on Wounded Warrior Project on Tuesday mornings with The Fourth Age, which is a One Ring 2nd Edition campaign, where I am reprising my role of Erland of Mythland with the incredible cast over there. It is a stream for charity for the Wounded Warrior Project, and we are wow, we're actually very also awarded and acclaimed. It's an incredible show. You can come and hear me speak Sindarin. It's a lot of fun. And then in the evenings on Saturdays, I'm over in Happy Jacks RPG playing Road to Nowhere, which is an Electric State actual play where I play a problem, a drone pilot. It's fine. Kilo's great. That has been a really great campaign. It is coming to a close soon, so now's a great time to catch up on this amazing adventure through mid-apocalypse California. And then I am also, as if this is not enough already, the GM of Laurie's House, which is a Home You Remember actual play, which is a system that we wrote for the game. Laurie's House itself is a story about imperfect memory, community, and the selfless act of self-exploration using magical realism and our very own game system, the Home You Remember, which you can buy the Ash Can for now, over on Frivolous Bear Studios on their website. That's plenty of... I'm everywhere all of the time, and I also stream. You can come check me out on my channels. The link exists. And I'm gonna pass it on over to John.
Hello, I'm John, using they and any pronouns. I'm a multidisciplinary artist based out of New York City, and arts admin, and a million hats, talent acquisition, blah, 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 DEI, cultural consultant, all these things, and white people whisperer. and I played Althea Al Overton, a she-it soldier, because I am in my tank era things a lot, and that helped me not feel feelings. You can find me on a couple other projects right now, notably Moon Harbor Heroes, which is a mass actual play playing Tiger, a doomed telepath from a bad future, a corporate apocalypse. And you can also find me on another Masks, guesting on a Masks actual podcast called Issues, where I play Kid Squid. His ability is he has all the powers of Squid. And also currently on Dungeons and Drama Nerds, the current podcast for Stillfleet is coming out, where I play Private Taps, who's a Hrine who is an extra-dimensional being from the Escheresks who manifest in 3 space as a bowling ball and several elephant legs. So, very different. So yeah, you can find me around. Hello. Scope me out on Blue Sky at JohnJohnJohn or on Instagram at and if you're nasty. I will pass it to Jen.
Who's that? I sound like a loser. Hi friends. My name is Jen. I have been playing your friendly local shadowy freak Zephyr. Well, I guess one of 2 shadowy freaks now, which is absolutely excellent. I love it. I can be found on the internet at Jenburb. Right now I actually have a lot of like home games going on. But let me go through my week real quick. Obviously, I can be found here now on Fridays. Tomorrow is actually the finale of our the Between game over on Starcrawl RPG, where I play another non-binary disaster. It's great. What could possibly go wrong? I'm the party pincushion. Other than that, I do actual play performance, production, project management, overlay design. I do a lot of shit. I wear a lot of hats. I am most often found over on Game Master Monday running production for them, and recently opened a studio with Kat the Lore Mistress called Storyweave Productions, which will be launching in the new year. I have to harass people about that at some point soon. But yeah, I also play various video games on stream, but I just do it so multiple friend groups can watch me at the same time. I'm not a professional. But yeah, that's me.
Wonderful. And before we go to credits, I just want to say once again, thank you to Bad House RPG for having us here, having us back here after our one-shot. It is so lovely to return for this series. It's wonderful. Shout out to Joe in tech. Shout out to Fabian for this wonderful overlay. And once again, please stick around for the credits. Making a show like this takes a lot of work and a lot of people involved, so give love to all the people who make these productions possible. And we will see you next Friday at 8:30. Have a nice evening.